Welcome back to another episode of BMSL. I'm coming at you live on a Saturday. My name is Ghost and I'm the host today. And today we got to talk about my best friend sending himself to the Undertaker, man. And this story is near and dear to my heart because I grew up with him from childhood. And these are the things that, we would talk to each other about and come to each other if we were struggling with girls or just different situations altogether. But there's a lesson, a very important lesson to be learned in him sending himself to the Undertaker. But first, let me send you this video or show you this video of this guy, which is going to directly lead into what we're talking about today. Check it out. Man, this is a sad situation, man. Sad situation. And you can see his homie in the car is like, man, you're going to be all right, man. But this guy, he's just completely and utterly blinded and deaf to what this guy is saying over here. He's like, man, if you're gonna do it, don't bring me with you, man. It's hilarious, dude. But it's kind of the same situation that's happening to my homie as well. And this guy, I grew up with him. He's my childhood best friend, and we kind of talked to each other, or we did talk to each other through everything, and he would just call me off and on telling me about this situation. So I'm well versed about what situation is going on, and I can kind of see through the lies and the deceit that he tells me because I kind of know who he is. So I kind of piece by piece put the story together from what he's telling me and what he's not telling me as well. So essentially he's in the military, she's in the military. Now, his first mistake is getting a girl from the military, because all girls in the military, well, the majority of girls in the military, man, I just don't, if you know what I'm saying? But military girls, they're definitely interesting creatures, and I, by chance, love them. But that's besides the point. Moving on to the rest of the story. But, he meets this girl in the military, and he falls head over heels in love with her. Now, this girl is a Latina. She's built well, from what I see. She has a nice little, arch in the back. She got some nice titties as well. So, she's doing the thing. I mean, her face is subpar. She's a butterface, but hey, listen, if she's enthusiastically taking care of my homie, then hey, I'm all for it. So I'm like, hey, this is great. You know what I'm saying? Like you find a little, shorty that you can be with, and he tells me, man, I've never been with a Latina before. And I'm like, hey, dude, she's gonna change your life, but she's crazy, so just be on the lookout, right? And he actually gives her a chance. Like, he moves her in and everything like that. They were trying the girlfriend and boyfriend thing and whatever the case may be. And he would find himself calling me frequently, like, hey, bro, like, I don't even know what to do. Like, she's tripping about this, and this. Like, it's just a little thing. She's just kind of nagging me. And I'm like, well, like, yes, like, that's what's going to happen. What are you going to do about it? Because I was just telling them, like, bro, like, what she's probably, if she has a father, her father is probably definitely machismo in some type of way. She's gonna crave that masculine energy. So you just gotta tell her to shut the hell up one time, right? And he was like, no, I mean, I just can't talk to her like that. He had a problem with doing that. And I'm like, well, does she have a father in her life? And I can't remember what he said, to be honest. It was probably no. But if it was no, then I'm like, well, I mean, you're going to have to figure out a way for her to listen to her. But I suggest that you probably don't mess with her, simply because she's going to be a way bigger headache than you need, right? And so in telling him that, like, I think 3 to 4 months passed. He's busy in the military or whatever, but he finally calls me on the weekend again. And he was like, hey, man, like, I think I'm going to marry her. I'm like, you think you're going to marry her? Why would you do that? And he's like, she's pregnant. I'm like, ninja. Now, keep in mind, like, before all this started happening and he was telling me about her, he told me he was going to move her in. He told me that they were going to try it or whatever the case may be. But what he did not tell me until later on was that she would go back to her place in between him and just chill. And I'm, at this point, baffled because I'm just like, ninja, hold up. You telling me you with her, you moved her in, but she still owns her place? And she's still paying bills at her place? Oh, man, that's not a good look. Let me tell you the reason why it's not a good look. Because she has free reign to do whatever it is she wants to do. And she has plausible deniability. She can get away with anything. Now, I'm not no dating guru or anything like that. I just know the rules to the game. I know how this shit goes upon being on this earth for 29 years. This is just really the reality of the situation. So he's like, yeah, I know, man, I know, but I really love her. She's pregnant, and I think I should do my duty as a man. In my head, I'm like, bro, you don't have a duty. Like, bro, you don't even know if that chick is yours. You don't even know if that baby is yours. And he was like, man, like, it just, it's just my duty. I just want to do it. This guy's a Christian guy, so I respect the Christian religion or whatever the case may be, but these guys are just soft, and it's exactly what he is. He's soft as hell, soft as Charmin's tissue and shit, and I'm like, bro, like, you could literally just do without her and you will be way better in life. And he was just like, man, I think it's time for me to settle down. I said, okay, like, if you're sure about this, like, cool, like, I'll support you or whatever the case may be, but, like, just don't say I didn't warn you. So he goes, okay, cool, and he does it, and, the baby's born eventually, and then, 6 months to a year later, we talk on the phone, and this was, like, 9 months before he took himself. And he's like, man, I just don't know what to do. She's still doing the same stuff. Like, she's still irritating me and talking about me terribly or whatever the case may be. And she's even gossiping about me to her mother and her friends and shit like that. And saying that I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, dude, I told you not to marry her. I told you not to marry her. But yet he still did, because he was thinking with his little head instead of the big head. Right? And so she's driving this dude crazy day in and day out, so much so that he starts questioning if she's cheating on him or not. Now, obviously, from the outside looking in, of course she's cheating on him. Of course. And of course that baby is like a 60 to 70% chance that it is not his. Let's just keep it a buck, right? Let's just keep it all the way 100. The reason why that is because she's already liked black guys. So she probably is having an affair, or she's having relations with somebody else who is black. That's just my speculation on it. But he says, okay, well, he starts questioning this, and I'm like, okay, like, what proof do you have? And I'm like, she's staying out late, leaving me home with the baby, and she's out all weekend. She says she's at work, but I called the work, and her work is not there. I'm like, oh wow, well, what is she doing then? And I'm really questioning, like, what is she doing then? What conclusion are you coming up with? And he was like, well, I don't know. That's why I'm saying I think she's cheating. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what are you going to do about it? And he was like, I just don't know. Like, we're going to take a break for a while, see if we can come back to each other, because we have a kid now. I'm like, ninja. We all been here before, though. So I can't really be too mad at him, but he is way too old at this point. I think he's like 25, 26. He's way too old at this point to be falling for anything like this. This is trivial. This is like high school. We can read between the lines. We obviously know what's going on. Like, this is not something, a unique discovery at all. So I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, like, I told you this from the beginning, but you just didn't want to listen. Okay. So now he's in a conundrum. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? What is he going to say? How is he going to move from here? And he was like, well, I think, we're going to try. We're going to separate for right now. And then, she's going to go to her place. I'm just going to stay here. And, I'm probably going to be sent overseas on base anyways, right? And so I'm like, okay. So listen, just give me a call as soon as you need something, or if you're feeling any type of way, bro, like, we can just talk about it or whatever. And he was like, yeah, okay. Now, I probably went way too hard on this dude. And he probably was just like, man, I'm not calling him at all. I don't want to disappoint him. And next thing I know, I heard that he sent himself to the Undertaker. While he was on the ship. While in the Navy. Yes. Which means one or two things. Means A, the baby wasn't his. Or B, she got under his skin so much that he said, man, I don't want to come back from this at all. Because if he would have divorced her, he still would have been on the hook for child support. He's in Virginia, even though that the kid is not his. So he feels like a sucker even for dealing with her in the first place. But the lesson through this story is, when you're in love, you are blind. You're going to do a plethora of things that you would not have done had you not been in love. This dude would have been amazing as a captain in the Navy. And then he would retire. He would have started his own business, blah, 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 blah. But he ruined his life because he decided to deal with a woman who he wasn't unsure about. The women we choose can make us or break us. As you see in this situation, it broke him. What's that guy's name, man? I can't remember that guy's name off the top of my head. Great actor, funny guy. He was paying two alimony cases from his two ex-wives. Man, off the top of my head, I can't really think about the name. But It took him too. It took him too. And there's probably many and a lot of other guys that are sucker for love as ninjas, and they just can't take it anymore, and so they send themselves to the Undertaker. You know, the lesson here is don't put yourself in that position. Don't box yourself in from only doing things the right way. That your religion says that is the best way. That your religion says this is the only way. That your religion says is if you get your girl knocked up, you got to keep it. Don't box yourself in, because that could potentially make you miserable. That could potentially make you miserable. You don't want that. That situation is terrible, not only for you, but for your well-being and for your mindset. You guys let me know what you think about this situation. I think it was very, very interesting, in fact, but I think it's a great lesson to be learned from other men, especially on this channel. I think we have an 85-15 split between 85% men and 15% women. And ladies, you can also take a lesson from this as well. These guys, no matter what they say or what they do, these guys are made by you, or they're going to be broken by you. You have a responsibility. With great power becomes great responsibility. I know most of the people are not going to listen to this, but that's just what it is. If you guys got value from this, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and then comment your thoughts down below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.